Aloha everybody, this is Dave Wallace coming to you from Wahiawa, Hawaii, and I am going to be showing you how to go after the lottery using the grid system that I created. And this one is an example that I'm using today. It's called the Malaysian 658 lottery. In Malaysia, they have this. It's drawn quite frequently. And so there's 6 numbers drawn from the field of 58 numbers, and there's no bonus ball. Okay? So you know that to start the process off, to establish a grid, you know there's 58 numbers. So what I did is that I organized the 58 numbers into rows of 10. So you have 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 1 through 10, 11 through 20, and 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, and 51 to 58. Okay? So, and the reason why is that the reason why I do this is that I break this down into segments. I'm breaking the grid down in segments and classifying the numbers. So 1 through 10 is called my tiny numbers. That's what I have there. So 1 through 10 is my tiny numbers. Then 11 through 20 is my small numbers. 21 through 30 is my medium numbers. 31 to 40 is my big numbers, and 41 through 50 are my large numbers, and 51 through 58 is my extra large numbers. Now, the reason why I'm classifying the numbers themselves is that they, by the size, is I want to be able to create number profiles, and I show you what the number profiles look like. And these are characteristics of the different draws that come out. Okay, and right below the numbers, you see 9K right here, and the number 9 represents the frequency of the number, and K is what I use to describe the frequency. And there are 4 frequencies that I'm interested in. The hot numbers are the most repeated numbers, and for this grid, hot numbers are numbers that showed up 13 or more times. The next, the W, represent the warm numbers, and these are numbers that showed up between 10 and 12 times. And then right below the warm numbers, you have the cool numbers, and the K numbers are numbers that showed up between 8 to 9 times, and that's what number 1 did. It showed up 9 times, so this is the K number. And number 2 is also a K number, appearing 8 times in the last 100 draws. And then finally, the coldest numbers. These are numbers that appeared 7 or less, and I believe the the hottest number right now, as of the last draw, was 24, which appeared 18 times in the last 100 draws, and the coldest number is 57, which appeared only 5 times in the last 20 draws. So I established this matrix last night, and I updated it last night, and after every draw of the lottery, this particular lottery, you need to update, and the numbers will change. Now, what will change is this right under here at 9K. If the number 1 appears 4 more times in the next draw, it automatically kicks up to hot. Okay, so 4 plus 9 is 13, and the cutoff for hot numbers are 13 right here. Okay, so the grid needs to be updated after every draw so you can get an accurate perception. Again, to establish this, this grid, you need to go back to 100, the last 100 draws of this particular lottery. Any lottery that you're doing, in order to work this grid, you need to create a baseline of data. And this is where you start using the last 100 draws. And since there are 6 numbers to the draw, 100 games involve 600 numbers. Okay, so 600 numbers were at play in the last 100 draws, and this is the chart that represents the frequency and the size of the numbers. Okay, so this is a very important document. This gives you a lot of information to begin analyzing the numbers. Okay, and then another thing that I do is to help me once I begin working the number. This is a really important sheet. I call this the frequency chart, and all of the hot numbers, starting off with the hottest number, which was 24, and I keep on going until all of the hot numbers are shown. So as of today, there are 13 hot numbers, and then when we move down to the warm numbers, we have 17 warm numbers, and then cool numbers, we have 15 numbers right here, and then the cold numbers, we have 13. Okay, so this is the frequency chart arranged in from the hottest number to the coldest number down here. Okay, and each of the categories. And it really helps when working on the profiles to have the numbers pre-divided already, instead of chasing around on a grid, chasing the numbers around the grid. And I'll show you what I do later with the numbers themselves, because although a hot number may be repeating a lot, not all of them repeat at the same rate. Okay, so I'll show you how I track that later. So this is another really important document that I use. Okay, the third document that I use for this is the draw record. And these, instead of looking at all 100 numbers, what I look at when I start working this is the last 20 draws. And right here you have the 20 draws, the last 20 draws. Now in order to get my number profiles and establish my number profiles, I analyze the last 4 draws. And so the last draw for this lottery occurred on the 9th of February, and the numbers drawn were 6, 14, 16, 34, 50, and 53. Okay, now just looking at the frequency on the size of the numbers, 6 was a tiny number. 6 was a tiny number. 14 was a small number. That's a S. 16 was a small number. 34 was a big number. 50 was a large number. And 53 was an extra large number. So that's the size of the numbers. The next thing is that we're looking at the frequency. Okay, and like how often did these numbers appear? 6 is a warm number. Okay, and so it's a very warm number. In fact, it appeared, let's see in this chart, 6 appeared 12 times. So 6 appeared 12 times, making it a warm number. 14 is a cool number. 16 is a cold number. 34 is a warm number. 50 is a hot number. And 53 is a warm number. Okay, so these are the classifications, and if you keep on going back again, 6 is a tiny and warm number. Okay, and so it reveals right there. And let me show you how it looks up here. So we're looking at warm numbers, and 6 is right here. It's a tiny and warm number. So we have 2 indicators as far as the profiles, the information we need for the number profiles. So these are the important documents, okay, that you need, and this is how to read them. And after every draw, again, you need to add, the next draw will be, for this lottery, will be on the 12th. So when 12th of February comes up, all of the numbers that comes out will be added here. And since we're adding 1 to here, and we're only keeping track of 20 for our creation of our profiles, we erase this top one up here and move everything up. So that's how you keep on adding it and maintaining this particular sheet. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can type them in, and all you need to start doing is working on it to get things going. Okay, finally, this is my workout sheet, or my worksheet that I used for lottery. I've been using this for the Powerball, Mega Million, Fantasy 5, and now the Malaysian. Okay, there's one thing here that I normally only pay 5 numbers, but since the Malaysian draw has 6 numbers, I have it right here. I put another column here, and I'll show you how that works out later. Okay, anyway, so these are the this is the worksheet, and I'm going to be breaking down the numbers, how often they repeated for every 4 draws. So the first 4 draw goes here, the numbers. The second 4 is listed here. The third 4, fourth 4, and the fifth, the last 20 games, 17 through 20 goes right here. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. And then the next thing that we have is frequency. You got hot, warm, cool, cold, and I'm crossing out the icy. There's no icy for Malaysia. And then we come over to this is the frequency, and then the size. We got tiny, small. I cross out juvenile. There is medium, big, large, and extra large numbers. So I'm just counting how many they are. And here is another thing that I do, is odd and even numbers for each of the segments. And looking at only the first numbers that were drawn, how many of these numbers were odd and how many were even. And even the second section here, the second number, how many odds and even, and go until we do all of the numbers for the category they were in. And this one right here, the RAB, is something for more advanced. I'm not gonna get into it today. And the range and the mean, if you want to do that, where you average out the numbers, that's fine. Okay, and right here are the areas that I do to create my profiles that I'll be sharing with you later. And then once the profiles are created here and I make the choices of the numbers, the final numbers are written in these segments right here. Okay, so that explains all of the forms that I'm using. Okay, now let's see how it looks in application. Here is the number draw. Actually the draw record for the Malaysian lottery. Okay, and as you can see, I've marked out each segment. These are the last 4 games, then games number 5 through 8, then 9 through 12, 13 through 16, and 17 through 20. These are the last 20 draws, and I'm breaking them down into 4 draws. And I start from the bottom, and as you can see, I do have the these are the size and the frequency of the numbers. Okay, all drawn out here, and the numbers themselves. Now what I do here is that I'm tracking to see how often these numbers repeat. And if you look at the number 6, the number 6 appeared is marked not only here, but it goes back. There's another one here, and another one here, and another one there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The number 6 appeared 5 times in the last 20 games. And so you're just tracking. See all of the pinks that weave through here? These are numbers that appeared in the last 4 draws, but have found its way all the way up to the last 20. And that's what we're looking at. Now, when you're done with this numbers and track the numbers up, I change colors so I know which numbers appeared in games number 5 through 8. So I use green, and green tracks all the way up. You can see the number greens going up there. The next color is orange, and the color orange is for games number 9 through 12. And you can see the orange going up here. Then we have the blue colors, and finally the yellow. So as we keep on, as we get higher or further back into the draws, you notice that the frequency of the numbers, how often they appear, begins to disappear. Okay, and the numbers are kind of like retiring. Now, the numbers that I circled here are non-repeating numbers. These numbers appeared only once. Okay, and in the last 4 draws, there were 5 numbers: 14, 16, 10, 15, and 30 that appeared only once and did not repeat. Okay, so these are numbers that are emerging, coming back into cycle, and look like they were gone for a while and they just coming back. So for some people, they call this the lost returning numbers. Okay, so when you're done with this, you can begin filling out the information on this particular sheet. And as you see, these numbers right here, all of these numbers are actually the numbers right down here. Okay, they're the pink numbers. And the pink numbers, the most repeated numbers for the last 4 draws is 6, 34, 24, 29, which appeared 5 or more times. Right below that, you have the number 53 that appeared 4 times. Then you have the number 54, 5, 27, 36, and 22 appearing 3 times. And 50, 49 appeared twice. And these numbers 14, 16, 10, 15, and 30 appeared only once. And that's what I have right here, represented here. The next column, we repeat again. And this time, the next column represents the numbers in green, right in here. And the numbers that are circled. And this is where the numbers go. So number 7 and 43 were the most repeated number in this section, appearing 4 times, and followed by 17, 4, 28, which appeared 3 times. Okay, and we come down, and you notice right here, and this is something that happens in the larger lotteries too, where all of a sudden you have a lot of numbers reappearing and showing up only once. Okay, so and after that we have the orange numbers, or the next segment of numbers on this grid. They're listed right here. Okay, and hopefully that's enough to give you information, because here's the information from the last portion of the draw record. Okay, and represented here by the blue and by the yellow. Okay, so not that many numbers towards the end. Okay, now comes the the frequency and size of the numbers, and how many hots were there. Well, this is where we come here and take a look at how many H's showed up. Okay, and if you count the H's, there were 6 here, there are 6 here, so I write the number 6 up here. Okay, there are a bunch of warm numbers shown by the W, and if you count all of the W's here, there's 9, so you write 9 up there. Okay, you write 9 up here, and then there were 8 cool numbers and 1 cold number. Now the next information that we needed was the number size, and so we come back here and we look at the number size here, and we count the number of T's. There were 4 T's, and we write the 4 in right here. There are 3 smalls, there are 7 mediums or M numbers, 4 big numbers, 3 large numbers, and 3 extra large numbers, and all of them are listed right here. So tally them up, and here we go. We got, again, tiny numbers. We got 4, small numbers 3, medium numbers 7, big numbers 4, large numbers 3, extra large 3. Add them up, we got 24 numbers, which is exactly what we need. And then the that's the size, and then the frequency. We got 6 hot, 9 warm, 8 cool, and 1 cold. Add them up, it's 24. So we got the information that we need, and we have it recorded on our sheets. Okay, then the next thing that I do is look at the numbers based on the position. So if you look at here, the first numbers were 22, 5, 6, and 6. So there were 3 even numbers and 1 odd numbers, 1 odd number. And then we jump over to the next one, and that's what I show up here: 1 odd, 3 evens. Okay, and then the next number, 24, 15, 10, 14. Again, we had 3 even and 1 odd, and we recorded 3 even and 1 odd. And then the next section was there was 3 even and 1 odd. The fourth numbers were 3 even, 1 odd. The fifth numbers, you had 1 odd and 3 evens. And then the final segment, you had 3 odds and 1 even numbers. So that gives you the information that you need. So right here we have frequency, size, even and odd. Okay, and using that information, there's one more that I look for, and these are loss returning numbers. And in the last 4 games, there are 5 numbers that were loss returning. What are those numbers? Well, they're the ones that circled right here. Okay, so 30, 50, 10, 14, and 16 are loss returning numbers, and that's what I put up here. We're going to see if we can incorporate them into here. All right, so next thing we're going to be doing is that we take all of the information, the frequency, size, odds, and evens, and we're going to be distributing them through here. And so there are 6 hot numbers. So if we count the H's, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 distributed. And then warm, there should be 9 warms. And so there's 9 W's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then you have 8 cool numbers, or K's. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you got them. Okay. And then you have 1 cool number, and that's a C right here. And then we needed to have 4 T's. So we got 4 T's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. We need 3 S's. 1, 2, 3. We got the 3 S's. We need 7 M's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 M's. And we need 4 B's. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 B's. We need 3 L's. And we got 3 L's. 1, 2, 3. And we need 3 X's. Here's the X's. 1, 2, 3. And so, and the rest goes on. Okay, so for the first digit, we needed to have 3 evens and one odd. So we have 3 evens and 1 odd. And so that plays itself out right there. So this combination of numbers, letters, H's, the frequencies and the size, and the even and odd numbers, that's what creates the number profile. Okay? And once you establish the number profiles, then you can use the next sheet to actively pursue them. Okay? And again, recognize the sheet. Yes, the sheet is from the frequency sheet. And these numbers are all coded. Show you how I got the numbers and the codes for this. The pink numbers here comes from this table right here. Okay, the pink numbers, these are the most frequent. These are the numbers that appeared most frequently. You have 6, 30, 34, 24, 29, 53, 7, and 43. And so I searched throughout here and marked these numbers in pink. Here you have 24, 7, 29 and 43, and then 6, 53, 34, and those are all of the highest frequency or most repeated numbers. Then I come down one line, and these are the second most repeated numbers, and the color I use for this is orange. So you have 42, 22, 5, 17, 28, 27, 36, 54, 4, and 48. Those are the second most repeated numbers, and I'm marking them here. And then the third number that I'm really interested in is the third number most repeated, and they're green. So you see all of the green numbers throughout here are the the third most repeating number, okay, throughout here. And finally, the yellow numbers are numbers that appeared at least once, okay, only once in the last 20 draws, and those are marked here. As you notice, most of the numbers that appeared only once is part of the cold set, and a lot of the numbers that are pinks and oranges are up in the hot and warm. Now, after we looked at the hot number, the frequency of the numbers, we found out that there were 6 hot numbers. So what I did here is that I know from this group right here, I need to pick out 6 numbers. And then same thing with the warm numbers. The warm numbers, there are 9 warm numbers, so I would have to pick out 9 from here. Then for the cool numbers, there are 8 cool numbers, so I know I had to pick 8 numbers from here. And then the last one, there was 1 cold number, and I needed to pick 1 number from here. And working with this, I was able to pick through the different numbers that I needed. And there were only 2 numbers that were not drawn in the last 20 games. And those numbers were 47 and 38 right here. So 47 and 38 did not show in the last 20 games, so these are lost numbers. They're out of cycle, and they should be coming back, which is why I chose 38 here. I left this alone because I only needed 1 number, and the number 47. The number 47 will look pretty good for me. Okay, now we can also track the numbers that we need, and by following the scale right here as I do the numbers. For example, let's take a look at the number sets for A right here. Okay, the first number that I chose was 42. Okay, hot. And 42 hot is right here, and 42 hot is a large hot number. Okay, so when I chose 42, I can mark off the L right here. Okay, that's a large number, and it's also a hot number. Okay, so it goes up here. And is 42 an even number? Yes, it is. So you need to mark off an E. So that's how you keep track of that. The next number was 18 that I chose, and 18 is right here. Okay, 18 is a small number, so I marked off S. It's an even number, so I marked off an E. Okay, and I put it up here next to the H. The next number chosen was a 22, and 22 is a warm number. And where's 22? Yeah, 22 is right here. It's a medium number, so we mark off one of the M's. And it's a warm number, so we place it next to the W. All right. The next number was a 5, and 5 was a warm number. And you can find 5 here. Where is it? Right here. Okay. And 5 is a tiny number, so we mark off the T. And it's a W, so we put it next to the W right here. And 5 is an odd number, so we mark off an O. 36 right here is a K number, so we come down into the K and look for 36. 36 is right here. It's a B number, so we mark off a B. Okay, 36 in B. And it's a K number, so we put the 36 next to the K. The final number was 27, and 27 is a K number. And let's find 27. 27 is right here. It's an M number and a K number, so we mark off another M, and we place 27 next to the K. So this is how, and 27 is an odd number, so we mark off O. So according to this profile, we needed to have 4 even numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 even numbers, and we needed 2 odd numbers, and we got 2 odd numbers right here, and we got the correct size, and we got the correct frequency. So that's how the profiles help you in obtaining your numbers. And you work each of these segments the same way, following these rules and trying to keep within the guidelines. It's okay that, some of them, if you, come to a profile and you cannot find a even or odd number to replace it to the next closest number possible, and it's okay to deviate from it, but try and stay within the guidelines that the profiles are trying to establish for you. So finally, when we're done, we have 6 numbers, and you can check them. Yeah, we have 6 numbers for each row. And now it's time to place them in an order from smallest to largest. So the first set of numbers for this draw is 5, 18, 22, 27, 36, and 42. That's the first set. Second set is 8, 11, 24, 29, 38, 53. The next set, 10, 17, 23, 31, 44, 54. And the final set, you have 4, 24, 25, 40, 49, and 52. So these are the number profiles and the numbers that meet the profile. And on Saturday, we'll find out how these numbers did. Okay, this is my first time looking at this, and let's see how these perceptions come out. Anyway, the reason why I'm making such a detailed record of this is that there's many of you asking me to do a lottery that you're playing, okay? And my rule normally is I don't work lotteries that I cannot play. However, I am making instructional videos, and this particular video should be sufficient to explain the method I use. So for those of you who want to play, want to get my input on different lotteries, here's your chance to work it your own. Okay, I'm providing you the information, all of the tactics that I use to create this, so you go find your numbers, you create your numbers, and because the only ones that I'm posting here from this feature, I'm not going to update this. This is up to the persons or people that playing this particular lottery to maintain it from here on. But all of the information that I gave you is in this is up to date. And so if you want to continue to play this, if you live in Malaysia and you want to use this, that's fine. But you're going to have to update it yourself. Okay? If you have any questions, contact me here. And again, I will not work lotteries that I cannot play. All right? Anyway, hopefully this information that I provided with you will be good enough for you to at least begin the attempt. And the reason why I'm showing you all of this is that it takes a lot of work to create this, and it takes a lot of effort, and you need to, if you don't like collecting data, analyzing, then this isn't for you. And if you expect me to do this, I won't. Okay, so this is up to you. Anyway, until next time, tomorrow night I'll be posting for the Powerball, and catch you folks later. All right, and this is Dave Wallace from Waiwa, Hawaii, saying aloha.